Hello. I'm going to talk to you today about the kind of reading we do when we work academically. It's a kind of particularly careful reading that we call critical reading, and we use it to be as sure as we can that a text provides accurate information. The techniques of critical reading that you'll see in this lecture can help you evaluate sources of information in what you read, and also, as you consider the way that your reader will be using these techniques, can help you establish your own credibility as a writer. Now, when we read a text critically, we can start by thinking about how a writer uses the elements of the rhetorical triangle. For example, we can examine a writer's use of pathos by judging how well that writer respects our feelings. We can think about whether the writer is trying to manipulate us in some way or play on our emotions in a way that seems to violate our sense of fair play. Indeed, if a writer uses any element of the rhetorical triangle in a way that seems wrong, we can form our own opinions about the honesty of that writer. We can decide, based on this opinion, how seriously we want to take that writer's conclusions. And, as we consider how to gauge the honesty of a writer, we can also look for clues in the writer's history. In other words, we can look at what a writer has written before to help us determine how the writer might see a particular subject that we're reading about currently. It's a way to look for bias, which we can think of as the kind of background opinion any writer brings to an idea without necessarily stating it or sometimes even realizing it. Because we necessarily reveal ourselves through our writing, as readers, we can learn a lot about the perspective of a writer by examining the writer's history. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, we can pay attention to sources, which we can think of as the origins of the information that we see in an essay. Where does a writer get information from? Does it come from a reliable source, or does it come from a source that we cannot trust? Writers base their conclusions on the information that they present. They expect us as readers to agree with those conclusions based on that information. Thus, we can evaluate those conclusions by evaluating the sources of that information. I hope you'll consider these techniques of critical reading as you continue to encounter texts of all kinds. Not just in the classroom, but also in your regular life, habits of critical reading can help you keep yourself accurately informed and out of trouble. And I think many of us want to stay informed and out of trouble as much as possible. As always, thank you for your time and attention.